thank the gentlelady for yielding. You know, during this health care debate over the last 6 months, we've heard we should listen to our constituents. And you know, I did 14 town halls in August, and they're attended by over 8,000 people. And there was one item of agreement between the extremes in the debate, between the folks representing the Tea Party and those representing single payer. And that was consensus that this industry, the health insurance industry, should not enjoy a special exemption under the law. They should not be able to collude to drive up prices, limit competition, price gouge consumers. They should play by the same rules as every other industry in America. And this archaic exemption from antitrust law passed in the 1940s should go to the dustbin of history. There was consensus on that. Now come the Republicans. Oh, wait a minute. We're not protecting the industry. We don't want to allow them to still have antitrust exemption. It's about the little guys. It's always about the little guys, isn't it? So let's give the little guys a loophole. And, oh, wait a minute. The big guys can use the same loophole. Now, the other thing I've heard is, let's be bipartisan. Well, there's nothing much more bipartisan than the report of the Antitrust Modernization Commission from April 2007. This was a commission created by the Republican Congress when they controlled both the House and the Senate and the White House, with the members named by President George Bush and the Republican leadership of Congress. They came to the conclusion that this loophole that they're advocating here today should not exist. And I'll quote briefly from the conclusions of the bipartisan Republican-created commission. They said, a proposed exemption should be recognized as a decision to sacrifice competition. Oops, I thought they were for competition. And consumer welfare. Thought they were for the consumers. And should be allowed only if Congress determines that a substantial and significant countervailing societal value outweighs the presumption in favor of competition and widespread benefits it provides. They go on to address their arguments, and they say, there are those who will argue the small companies that to aggregate data and all this, they will need this safe harbor. Well, they said, no, actually not. This, again, is the Republican-created commission. Like all potentially beneficial competitor collaboration generally, however, such data sharing would be assessed by antitrust enforcers and the courts under a rule of reason analysis that would fully consider the potential pro-competitive effects of such conduct and condemn it only if, on balance, it was anti-competitive. Insurance companies would bear no greater risk than companies in other industries engaged in data sharing and other collaborative undertakings. To the extent that insurance companies engage in anti-competitive collusion, however, they would then be appropriately subject to antitrust liability. They want to give them a safe harbor that is so big that the Justice Department could never review. They're objecting to the fact that the Justice Department might look at, investigate the activities surrounding data sharing and potential collusion by the industry to continue to price gouge consumers and benefit unreasonably and profit unreasonably. They want to create that loophole. That loophole is unnecessary. If you adopt that loophole, we might as well just not pretend that we care about consumers, consumer welfare, and that we're going to meaningfully address this industry playing by the same rules as every other industry. No, I will not yield. The gentleman has his own time. This industry should play by the same rules as all others. Plain and simple. Americans get that. They're not happy with seeing their health insurance double every 10 years, or now it's more on a doubling rate of 3 to 5 years. They know that they're being taken to the cleaners. They know the industry is trying to cherry pick. They know there's anti-competitive activity going on. It's time for that to change. No loopholes.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentlewoman from Maine reserves. The gentlewoman from North Carolina is recognized.